From Dallas, Texas, I'm Mary Alexander of Mary Alexander Cakes. We have a saying here in Texas, go big or go home. But I'm not going home because I'm the next great baker. I'm standing here in front of the kitchen. This is where I rent space to decorate cakes and do all my goodies. But I tell you what, after a year and a half, I'm getting bigger every day and I'm going to need my own spot soon. But come on in and let me show you my workspace. Come on in. This is my workspace. The kitchen is actually a big restaurant. It's closed today, so I'm able to show you where I work. This is the table where I do all my cake decorating and make all my goodies. As you can see, it's really a restaurant, made to be a restaurant, much more than it is a place for me to decorate cakes. But it works for now. As I look back over all the different cake pictures on my website, these are a few of my very favorites, some of the more memorable. Football helmet was a great cake. It was my first attempt really with gum paste on that mask, and it was very, very difficult to transport down to the venue, but it just turned out great. Topsy-turvy cake, this was much easier than I thought. I had avoided them forever and had a girlfriend order, and it really turned out to be quite easy, so I'm really looking forward to doing some more. Lots of color, lots of color. I love to do cakes with sports themes, lots of color, birthdays. This was actually a twins cake. One girl had the front and one girl had the back. This was my anniversary cake for the first year I was in business, and it's actually the cake that's on my website. It's one of my very favorites. Trash can cake. This was a lot of fun. I had a group of folks order this cake for their boss, who owned a recycling center, and when she asked if I could do a trash can, I thought, well, why not? So this is how it turned out. Dartboard, whew, this was a toughie. Just getting all those lines straight, and it was when I first started, so it really was. It was a little bit more difficult than I thought. This is a Harry Potter themed cake. It was actually Hermione inspired. The little girl that had the birthday wanted it to be all about Hermione, and so with a little help from my niece, who is a big reader of Harry Potter, we were actually able to come up with some really great ideas for her, and I love the way the books turned out. It was just a great cake. Stewie. Oh, this is one of my favorites and most difficult cakes that I've done. The gravity issue on that head, that big football head, was horrible. Trying to get it to the venue was painstaking, but it just turned out great. And the girl that I did it for absolutely loved it. So it's one of my favorites and one that I'm not sure I'll try again. I always do a lot of confirmation cakes and lots of color. This was my mother's birthday cake, made to look like a basket of leaves. Her birthday is in November, so it was just perfect for the season. Tiffany's cake. This cake was actually the best cake of the year on the Mary Alexander Facebook page, and it had the most posts and so forth, and so out of the top 10 cakes, it was #1. This cake was absolutely hilarious, came with a story as well. A girlfriend of mine, Missy, her husband had an encounter with a squirrel in a toilet, and so for his birthday, well, as you can see, I'm back. Bat mitzvah cakes, birthday cakes, baby shower cakes. This is one of my favorites. I used Rice Krispie treats for the rattle, and actually painted the rattle with edible silver, and a lot of folks couldn't tell if it was real or not. Baby shower cake, Halloween cake, lots of color, lime green and orange, always my favorites. My mother's book club cake just turned out great. Bunny cakes, baby shower cake. Love to carve the cakes. This was for Alex on his 17th birthday. I thought it just turned out great. The Xbox 360. Birthday cake. Mario. This was my first attempt with Rice Krispie treats, and I used those to mold Mario, and it's still one of my very, very favorites. College cakes. I do lots of college themes, fraternities, sororities, etc. This was one of my favorites, and probably one of the hardest that I had done. And last but not least, birthday cake for Grandma Bev, a knitting basket. So I hope you enjoyed looking at the cakes. I've only been doing this for about 1.5 years, and even now, like I said, I'm always amazed at how they turn out. But these are a few of my favorites.